Alright everybody, hello and welcome. As always, I am Sean. This is In The Mix, episode 158 of our Isle of Man series. Happy Wednesday, wherever in the world you happen to be watching from. Now, if you haven't gone back and watched yesterday's episode, or the Monday episode, go and check them out. They'll give you a bunch of additional context as to what we're trying to do this year. And we do, in this episode, have two very important fixtures in our run home in the Premier Division. We don't actually have that much to recap this week as well, because we're pretty much following on from exactly where yesterday's episode finished, which is a weird scenario to be in. Anyway, we're going to jump straight in. I'll show you where we're up to at the moment. So, as you guys can see above my head here, we are in the top 4 spots. That's our aim for this season, to make Champions League qualification through the Premier Division. Last season, we did qualify for the Champions League by winning the Europa League last year. And if you're not caught up, I'll cut you a little bit of slack, where we were knocked out of the UEFA Champions League by Atletico Madrid across 2 legs. They really were the better side in the tie, it must be said. And I think we were kind of caught in a state of flux where I don't quite know the direction the team was heading in. I wasn't being consistent enough in the tactical instructions that we had. We were for a while playing this 4-2-3-1 and we had a positive attacking and cautious mentality. I'm now kind of throwing caution to the wind and I want us to be positionally a bit more flexible as well. So we've also got this 4-2-4 which we're using. We've also got this 4-4-1-1 which we're using in counter-attacking situations. So far, kind of adjusting in games has yielded pretty good results for us. We, of course, beat Liverpool after adjusting early and then adjusting again late on to try and hold on to the lead. We beat Burnley pretty convincingly as well in the FA Cup quarterfinals. Of course, they're a championship side, but, you know, getting an air into any quarterfinal, you start to kind of think, oh, am I going to get FM'd here? Because they hadn't really had any shots or anything like that. But we did. We stuck with it and eventually got the 3-0 victory our performance deserved. And now we're going to try and continue to adjust game by game, analysing the opposition, making reactive decisions in games as well to get hopefully 3 points at home to Newcastle, who are a good team, and then an away trip to Tottenham. Probably the toughest away trip that I think we have left this season. In the run home, we've only got 3 sides that are currently in the top 10, Newcastle and Tottenham, who we're going to play today, Bournemouth, who will probably play in tomorrow's episode, and everybody else, the likes of Villa, Leicester, West Ham, Reading and Southampton, are down towards the bottom of the table. So you'd think those are games that realistically we should be winning and able to pick up as many points as humanly possible. I know that's famous last words. I know that there is always the opportunity when you reload FM that it's going to recalculate your form a little bit and those teams might turn you over. But I'm confident if we can get good results, good performances in today's episode, we're going to put ourselves really in the box seat to finish in the top 4 and potentially start looking to try and catch those teams in 3rd or 2nd. As things currently stand, City are currently top 73 points. They are 16 points ahead of us. We're definitely not catching them. We're 8 points behind Manchester United, albeit that they have played an additional game on us on 65 points. And we are 6 points behind at Chelsea, who've also played 30 games. I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility with our run home and with the teams that we've got yet to play that we can't get some good results and, you know, maybe get closer to Chelsea. You can see the goal differences is probably the big one that counts against us. We're plus 24, Chelsea's plus 43, United plus 31 and City plus 37. I don't think we'll get quite to that level because we don't spank teams at any point. But, you know, we can at least continue moving in a positive direction and be as competitive as humanly possible. We're getting to that point now where we are kind of, you know, a European quality side. Now we really need to start pushing and become an overall quality side that can push for a title challenge. And we did speak about it a little bit yesterday, but we'll kind of recap. Like, we've probably got these maybe top 7 players are probably good and we're happy with that in those particular positions. But then there's another 4 positions that we want to try and get in our starting 11 up to a similar level. Or alternatively, building out the overall depth of the total squad so that we've got a full squad of 22 with like versatility in both positions. At the moment, I'd say maybe right wing is the only spot where we've got like 2 really good quality prospects. Frank Richard, who's 3-star current ability, 5-star potential, and Lucas Gabriel, who's also 3-star current ability, 5-star potential, and both are 19 years of age, so they've still got room to grow and develop. We don't really have that same depth around the rest of the areas of the park. So a whole lot of work to still be done, a whole lot of depth that I think we want to add to the group, and that's really our challenge to try and push forward to become a title contender. And hopefully that starts today with some good results against Newcastle. Magic editing, let's jump in, have a look at the 2 lineups. So, as you guys can see here, we're going to go with our 4-2-3-1 positive structure, which is kind of our default setting at the moment for the squad that we've put together. It is still aggressive, it keeps the ball pretty well, it creates some good opportunities. The only real concern is that we don't tend to do super well in this structure when we're playing against like lower defensive blocks. It can be hard to drag teams out. It's kind of a gegenpress and out of possession, vertical tiki-taka in possession, but when they're playing like, you know, only really 2 forward players, I'm looking at Altamiranda and Elkins in their structure, they're going to press the ball when our defenders have it. it can be difficult to kind of drag their other lines out. So we might change it to that 4-2-4 attacking. We might even go counter-attacking late on if we're trying to defend a lead and they're starting to attack a little bit more. But we're going to go with Mancini in goal, Esteban and Abdesamad as the defensive partnership, Carlos Andre and Fontana as the fullbacks. This back five has played pretty much the whole season without any massive dramas. Esteban at the start of the year went to nightclubs twice, so I left him out for a little bit, but we seem to be winning more games with him in there, and I think we're better out of the air. Like a lot of that set-piece manager stuff that goes on with Football Manager 2020, it's not as big an issue when he seems to be in the squad. Lindelanka midfield and where the captain's armband alongside Henri, our highest average rated player for the season. Haji will play at the 10, Mateo on the left wing, Richard on the right, and Rivera leading the line up top, our leading scorer for the season. Now, looking over at Newcastle, you will see there's one familiar face, and he's got a face pack because Alta Miranda played for us for a few seasons. We picked him up from Rosario Central on a free transfer, which is hard to believe, and he was excellent for us the season we got promoted out of the Championship. 23 goals in that campaign. Was fantastic again in the second season, 20 goals in the Premier League in our first year in the top flight, keeping us in the division effectively. He then got a big money move to Newcastle for £25 million, which I think was his release clause at the time. And I wouldn't say he's had the best run of form or the best, quality seasons since then. Hasn't gotten over double figures for goals scored, but he is still a very high quality player. And I think he's probably going to give us a challenge. Very similar player to Rivera, who we replaced him with. In midfield, they've got Feenstra here, their captain and highest average rated player for the season. He's very good. He was previously a wonder kid back in the day when he was at Nice. We could never afford him. I'm not sure what they eventually paid for him. 43.5 million, and 4 years ago we just weren't at that level. Oh no, sorry, he was at Groningen. I take that back. He was at Nice on loan in his first season with Newcastle. But he had an excellent year last year, 14 goals in the league competitions, 9 goals so far this season with a few games to remain. He might hit a similar figure, and he looks to be a very good inside forward on that right-hand side. Good dribbling, okay mental attributes, very good physical attributes, so 20 agility and balance, 16 pace and acceleration, all very impressive stuff from the full Dutch international. I'm not sure if this is the right Ariage. I think it's a different one. There was one, oh no, it's the one that was at Man United, the Bolivian international. So he was a player that was really one of the best midfielders in the world for quite a while. Had some very good traits in there. It looks like he might have dropped off a little bit. 33 years of age now. I think physically he's probably deteriorated. Some of his technical attributes look to have dropped off. But if they're playing as a deep line playmaker, 16 first touch, 17 passing and technique, he's got that range. He's got good composure, decision-making, vision as well. He could ping a ball from deep areas and cause us some issues. Maybe expect to see Araujo knocking balls in behind for Alta Miranda to chase down. That might be a key focus of their play. And then Nigel Dixon here in midfield is their leading assist maker for the season. Newcastle Academy prospect. Looks decent. He's got a couple of England caps to his name at 25 years of age. 18 dribbling's impressive, 17 passing, 18 technique. Some good stuff in there. So they have got some quality about them, and they have got some high-value players. Maybe their league position of 9th doesn't necessarily represent how good their team can be on their day. Calmly, I'm just going to say, what are we going to say here? I want you to pick up where you left off last time out. It was a good performance in that FA Cup quarter-final, albeit against championship opposition. And if we're in good form, if we're scoring freely, if we're defending well, hopefully we can carry that on into this match and continue our good run of results in the Premier League. Deep free kick, first highlight of the game with Haji. Backstick ball towards Lind, who got forward out of his usual holding position, just over the crossbar, but I think the keeper had it covered. Okay, we've picked up an injury, which is the first real challenge for us in this second half. Harold is available, but he's not 100% fit. We might put him back on and let him play as an inside forward maybe. See how he gets on with that. Favoured right-footed player, so we might allow him the ability to cut inside. And I'm also going to use a get creative shout just with about 15 minutes remaining, 30 minutes played. We have lost the ball immediately from this first highlight since making that change. Feenstra plays it out left towards Beck. Just stand him up, boys. Don't do anything silly. Thankfully, his drive is a bit wild after he got into the area, well beyond the far post. That get creative shout has gone through as well. Everyone seems inspired, but really, I would like to try and snag a couple of highlights before halftime. We don't necessarily have to score, but we've had a lot of the ball without a whole lot of chances. And as halftime's called, we've had 5 shots, 2 on target, 69% possession, 6 shots, 2 on target, 31% of the ball for Newcastle. I might say assertively far from pleased, and they've at least seemed motivated. There are a couple of 6.4s, 6.5s out here that we're going to have to keep an eye on. But what's hard to tell at the moment is, are we actually creating all that much? We've had probably the same amount of highlights as Newcastle, and all of them really just half chances. Maybe we put the foot down with an hour played now. Maybe we go to that 4-2-4 and be a little bit more aggressive. You can see Haji's one of the players that hasn't had the greatest game. We might bring on Uli Schaefer. Rivera not playing well either, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And then we might bring on Gabriel for Frank Richard on that right-hand side. Let's just see how that goes. It's risky, as always, to use all three of your subs. With 30 minutes of the game to continue, we have got a corner here, though. Gabriel goes into the central area. It falls to Lind at the edge of the area. Back to Gabriel again. What can you do? Wide position. Cross isn't great, but Harold's recovered possession in the box. Henri loses out to Elkins, who just clears it long and forward. Carlos Andre into Esteban. Let's not screw around with the ball in these high areas, boys. And Altamiranda's got in goal side. It's a good chase from Esteban and a wonderful save from Mancini. So that 4-2-4, it is a bit more aggressive, but if you lose possession in high areas of the pitch, you're in trouble. Wide ball, it's going to run to Fontana, and we could maybe get a forward counter-attack here going. He's got a lot of space in front of him, and he's got supporting players if he can give the ball off. Instead he goes himself, and Elkins eventually brings him down in the final third. We don't see the free kick as the highlight comes to an end. Corner again, Harold to take towards Rivera, and it's straight at the keeper. You've got to get those, I was going to say on target, it was on target, but you've got to find your corners from those chances. Throw in, deep on the right-hand side. Gabriel with the ball now. Wide right area. He's been busy since he came on. He finds Harold back post, but again, the header just balloons over the crossbar. We're going to use demand more shout, and Lind immediately has a free kick towards back post. Esteban pinballs it around, and Schaefer, you would have bet your life on a player with 19 composure and 19 finishing, maybe finding some sort of target, but he just flicks beyond near post as well. Everyone seems focused after the shout, which is good, but we're into additional time now. Ball forward to Rivera. Lind out to Gabriel. Fontana on the overlap, cuts it back to Gabriel, who's been very good since he came on. Clearance is poor. Decimado put it back in. Fontana now, wide right area. Tries to force a ball that wasn't quite there. Come on, boys. Let's try and find something. Gambon's won the ball back for Newcastle. I'm going to set up a get creative shout before we run out of time in this one. A 2, switch out towards Altamiranda. Ball into Elkins. Altamiranda again, wide right area for Newcastle. Alvarez on the overlaps picked it up. This will be very undeserved. I can't believe it. We've conceded in the 92nd minute to Newcastle. Really only the second highlight that we've seen from them in possession. And it's good play, it must be said. Altamiranda goes for the initial ball. It's a good overlapping run from the fullback to not give up on it. And then that one touch beyond the defender takes out 3 players. Esteban was right there, but Bruno, in the end, a header into the far corner. And are we going to see any late highlights in this one? We're going to get robbed late on by the... we have been. It's robbery, that's what it is. 12 shots, 4 on target, 65% possession for the Isle of Man. 9 shots, 5 on target, 35% of the ball for Newcastle, only 2 highlights, and of course, one is a 92nd minute winner, which isn't great. Aggressively, you weren't good enough today, and at least everyone's responded positively, which is good to see. But that kind of puts us under a little bit of pressure heading into the game against Tottenham, and we might have to adjust the way that we're going to set up. We'll, of course, use a rest day with only 3 days until the next match. So Nahul Andrada gets a 7.5 match rating and the Man of the Match award or Player of the Match award, and they enter the Europa Conference League race. So that might have seen them move into the top 7. Zuko Mateo has fractured ribs. We'll send him to a specialist. Thankfully, we do have Paul Harold back into fitness, which is going to help us quite a bit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to clear out the team selection. We're going to give everyone 1 rest day, just to get as much of this like 60, 70, 80% condition above 90% for the next match. And then we're away from home against Tottenham. So we're going to try this, which has been working all right. It worked well against Arsenal when we played them away from home. It worked all right against Liverpool as well. Hopefully we can use this structure to get a good result against Tottenham. But there might be a couple of adjustments we make to the team. I thought Gabriel did well when he came on, and we of course have to try and get Harold back out there if he's fully fit by the time we get to the next match. Magic of editing though, we're going to jump forward now to the game against Tottenham and look at the 2 lineups. Alright, so jumping forward a little bit, we haven't changed too much, it's just those 2 changes on the wings we just spoke about. So Gabriel comes in on the right hand side, Harold comes in on the left, playing a little bit deeper. I've set him to a winger on attack. We might also try him out as an inverted winger on support. We'll see how that goes. If we do that, I'm actually curious if maybe Lind plays as the DLP on this side on defend, and Henri might switch to the other side because it's a wide winger staying wide, and then Henri can get a little bit further forward. That's overthinking everything, but that's just how it is. That's what this series is. If you're a long-time viewer, you understand that. Defensive line's unchanged. Midfield is unchanged. Haji and Rivera play at the 10, similar to the last match as well. Looking at Tottenham, they're playing a 4-2-3-1 as well. It's a very popular shape in the Premier Division. They have got some absolute quality. Like, make no mistake about where they're sitting in the league itself. They've got some very good players. One is Corentin Silva, who's a player that I bid on a variety of times. You can see 20-year-old wonder kid, Belgian international, left-sided central defender, which I always love. Before we brought in actually Abdesamad. We were trying to get in Corrington Silva. We placed a couple of bids for around 30, 40 million pound, but they want closer to 100 for him, which makes sense. He's a good player, but an excellent ball playing defender on cover. You can see here his key attributes for that role: marking 16, passing 18, tackling 18. Very, very impressive. Mental attributes will come with time. He's only 20. And then his physical attributes already very good. 16 acceleration, 17 agility and pace, 18 balance, 16 jumping reach. For a 20-year-old, that is very impressive stuff. Has he put a contract? He hasn't got a release clause either, and he's on 98k a week already, which isn't the easiest for us to try and match. But he's one to keep an eye on. They've also got Alison Vicente up top, who's phenomenal. 16 dribbling, 17 finishing, 18 first touch, 19 heading, 20 technique, 17 penalty taking, 15 long shots. I think he scored an absolute screamer against him last time we played. Mentally, he's a genius. Member of Mensa, 20 off the ball rating, 18 decision making, 17 composure, 19 anticipation. Just super impressive stuff. 5-star current and potential ability. 58 Brazil caps, when we know like it's hard to be a Brazilian international with so many Brazilian players of quality in the game. He's very impressive, and I think if Tottenham don't make Europe again this season, surely he's on the move somewhere else. Looking at his information, it's like he loves the club, like he's a favoured club person, but you'd think everyone's got a limit to how long they can spend without continental competition. Martin Areola, the nipple over here on the left wing, looks to be good inside forward as well. He's their leading assist maker for the season. We'll have to keep an eye on him. He's got some good dribbling, finishing, and first touch traits. Not the best crosser, not the best passer, which makes that assist total interesting, but maybe he's just one of those players that plays above his ratings. Passionately, we're going to say we owe Tottenham after what happened in our last match. A good manager, a good content creator, would have told you what our result was last time we played them. I did not remember to, so who knows? I'm guessing they won, otherwise that wouldn't have come up. All right, first highlight of the match, 15 minutes in. The ball starts with Tottenham from this goal kick. Ball forward from Silva into midfield. Harold with a good challenge, but they do keep possession. Areola now turns the defender very easily. Just stand him up, boys. Good recovery challenge there from Gabriel. Abdesamad nearly ran himself into trouble, but plays it out quite nicely. And then Haji just gives away possession straight to Gallon, their left back. Laporte sends Areola down this left wing. Just stand him up, boys. Don't do anything silly. It's a good backstick ball. Janino's closed down well. Now Harold gets the chance to come forward for us. I forgot, but Harold is playing against his old club as well. We picked him up from Tottenham a couple of seasons ago. Janino tracks very, very well. Janino had that chance at one end and then ran all the way to the other end to make that challenge. Close out the highlight. Areola wide free kick towards backstick. Silva has hit the post. We spoke about him in the build-up. I've given him too much praise. Sports Interactive listens in. They make these players score whenever I call it. All right, we've got about 15 minutes remaining in the half. I'm going to use a demand more shout. We're away from home. We just want to try and find some focus to half-time. And we have got possession here for this highlight. Haji with the ball now. Finds Henri. Sends Harold into the channel, who's been busy in this first half. Good ball in towards Rivera. It's cleared away by the Tottenham defence, though. Laporte now out to Galland. Now Areola seems to just be playing it back into dangerous areas. Silva with a clearance, and we should recover possession through Abdesamad, his Belgian compatriot. Mancini puts a ball in midfield. A poor effort. Bowley goes from distance, and Mancini, thankfully, he wasn't a mile off his line then. It's not like Bowley would have seen him and he was on the edge of the area. He was pretty much on the edge of his 6-yard box. And thankfully, the resulting corner as well over the crossbar as the highlight comes to an end. 1 minute of additional time to be added on at half. We're through that now. So half time, 8 shots, 5 on target, 45% possession for Tottenham. 3 shots, 1 on target, 55% of the ball. And you'd say they've had most of the highlights that we've seen. We're going to assertively say it's time for everyone to dig in and show what you've got left. And then I'm also going to tell Rivera that he wasn't that bad, but he can improve. He seems to go through these good spells and then these poor spells. I think he went like 10 hours without finding the back of the net, or 10 games without finding the back of the net in a previous episode. But hopefully he'd been in good form, so hopefully he can carry that on. We've got 30 minutes remaining. It didn't work last time, or at least caused us some pressure last time. Do we want to try and change anything? If you look at our average ratings, we've got quite a few players that no one's really excelling in this current structure. So screw it. Let's roll the dice. Let's go to the 4-2-4. Let's drop Haji to the Mazzai role. Lind can come off for Schaefer. Richard can maybe come on for Lucas Gabriel. He's a little bit more comfortable in that inverted winger role. And then I'm going to hold on to that last sub for the last few minutes. I'm going to use a get creative shout as well after making that adjustment. Ball back to Mancini here, and now Esteban forward to Henri. Good deep ball out towards Harold, who has gotten goal side on this left-hand side. Oh, maybe could have squared that one up. I swear, wide players shooting from wide angles is the bane of my existence, this Football Manager. See a lot of different stuff in the community, like people complaining about one-on-ones and stuff. I don't care about the one-on-ones. I just don't understand why wide players continue to shoot from stupid areas. You think a wide player is going to look to get to the byline and cut it back. It doesn't happen frequently enough in this game. And if you watch the Premier Division, it happens every week, that exact goal. Good ball in there from Kopecky, and Ariola's found the tap in. Is that Kopecky that was previously at Bournemouth, I wonder? So we've gambled a little bit. We've gone attacking, and we've been made to pay a little bit here. We'll check out if this is the right Kopecky in a moment. Broadly with the run, cuts it back. It's a good save from Mancini, and Ariola, the first one to the rebound. He didn't have much of an angle to work with, to be fair to him. Who was that keeping him on? There, back stick. Fontana, the player. We're going to hit pause. Is that Radim? It is. They picked him up from Bournemouth. He was at Bournemouth forever. He was a wonder kid for the longest time. I wonder what they paid for him, just out of curiosity. £65 million. He's definitely not worth that. But maybe we can use one more get creative shout with about 10 minutes remaining. Can we make another sub as well? I'm going to take off Haji. Maybe instead of Santana, though, maybe we bring on Chris Miller, who we haven't seen much of in the second half of the season. Tell him we've got faith in him. And everyone seems inspired by that feedback, but really we need to push on and try and find an equaliser now. 2 defeats in these 2 critical games isn't going to help us. It probably brings Arsenal back into the equation as well for that 4th place spot. Ariola, wide left area, cuts it back to Galland. Now Thiago Christian, a strike from distance, wasn't far away, and Vicente was in the vicinity. It would have taken just the tiniest little deflection there to cause us some real issues. We're going to use demand more heading into extra time, of which there'll be 4 minutes. And please don't just dwindle out. Oh, it's just running out. Sports Interactive, if you do listen into these videos, please put that final highlight in, even just for the drama of content creation. It would help me a tremendous amount. So in the end, 15 shots, 10 on target, 42% possession for Tottenham. 10 shots, 3 on target, 58% of the ball for Isle of Man. It's not been a great episode. Aggressively, I'm going to say, far from pleased with that result. And I know, this is the frustrating thing about content creation and the way that I play the game. I load it up for an hour every day. Because I load it so frequently, it just seems to always recalculate how we're doing. And what I mean by that, and I'm sure there'll be people in the comment section or on Twitter who'll disagree, but we had won 6 straight in the Premier Division, and we'd won our previous game as well. Yeah, there's the occasional defeat in there at a Champions League level, but we were in good Premier League form. We'd figured out how to play quite well. We reload the game the next day to try and replay it, and of course the form goes out the window. Back-to-back 1-0 defeats. Martin Ariola with his goal gets the man of the match award, 7.5 again. Not anyone setting the world on fire in either of the games that we brought you guys today. Abdesamad reveals my fury as I scream at them at the end of the match. Now, where does that leave us in the division? So we're still in 4th, just skin of our teeth, 2 points clear of Arsenal. Thankfully, I don't think they've had the best run of results either, which has helped us out quite a bit. And you know what? I'm actually looking at 57 points. I feel like last season we were in 6th and got way more than that. So maybe this is just a year where potentially you can get top 4 with less points than previous seasons, and that's how we kind of get away with it a little bit. Thankfully, we have played the majority of the sides that we had remaining in the top half, only Bournemouth to go. So we do have a lot of winnable games. I think what we will do is play Aston Villa and Leicester off screen, and then we might come back and play the Leeds semi-final game and the Bournemouth match in our next episode, so that you guys can kind of see what that run home is going to be looking like. If we get through against Leeds in the FA Cup semi-final, it of course means it will bring you guys the FA Cup final as the last episode of the week and of the season. But if we don't, we'll set ourselves up to do the last 2 games of the year. Reading away from home and Southampton away from home to close out the season and see where we finish and do a bit of a season review. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. That's the part that I appreciate the most and means the most to me. If you want to go that extra mile to support the channel, you can drop a like on this video. You can subscribe to the channel as well to be kept up to date on all of our future videos as they release right up until the release of Football Manager 2021. If you do have your own ideas for a one-season wonder save, drop that in the comment section below. We've got a couple more coming up before the end of the year. And then also, give me updates on how your saves are going. I do love hearing from people about what saves they're doing, what divisions, how they're traveling so far. I try and help out, give feedback if you want it. If you've got your own content, drop the links to that as well. I do try and check out and absorb as much of the Football Manager community as humanly possible. And of course, I do respond to every single comment that I get. But more than anything, like I said at the start, I just appreciate you guys watching. As always, I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the mixer.